we go. What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast. Back for another week. I'm your host, Alex. Got John Abraham back once again. Great to have you on as always.
Oh man, great to be back, man. You see, shout out to the NFL legends for sending me this. What you call me, Derrick Henry-esque shirt? I said I got to at least wear it once, man. So I threw it on today, man, just to BS around, having fun today, man.
Yeah, that's dope. That's very. I'm excited for this one. Too bad Amanda can't be here. It's our NFC North preview for the 2025 season. And I warned Amanda, I said, if you're not going to be here for this one, I'm going to have to talk some shit about your Packers. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm ready.
Yeah, do it.
Let's do this thing. So, the Detroit Lions have won the division back-to-back seasons for the first time ever. They're seeing the third straight division championship. They went 15-2 last season. How are you feeling about the Lions? Do you think they have what it takes to pull off the three straight here in the North?
Well, I think, losing Aaron Glenn and losing Ben Johnson, I think it's going to definitely be a new challenge season. But, I mean, they definitely have the same head coach. So, in that marquee, you feel like there still can be the same team. But I don't think people understand the big marks that, offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators really have, because a head coach is the guy that gets all the glory, but everybody knows that's why the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator keep getting head coaching jobs. They understand like these are the guys that's really running this team or running this type of defense or this type of offense. So I think that's going to be very major. And if you can get Aiden Hutchinson back, from injury, I think that's going to be super big. Hopefully he can come back and be the same guy. It's going to be a tough loss if he can't come back and literally jump in where they want to. The new OC, John Morton, I don't really know a lot about him. I know, so I'll just see. I don't really know a lot about him. So I can't really. That's more of what you do. So I'm gonna let you take this from here. I'm kind of like, I'm interested because this is your division. This is your. I mean, you're Chicago all the way in and out. So I know all these teams like the back of your hand. So I'm gonna let you give me a little. I guess you give me a little advice on what I'm going to be looking for from Detroit this year.
Yeah, it's going to be coordinators who are elite coordinators and landed such, even with all the injuries, got the most out of him. Vikings are trying to get back division championship. They won last time in 2022 with Kirk Cousins. Now they're two quarterbacks. Sam Darnold went 14-3. Couldn't win the division. Couldn't win Week 18 against the Lions. The J.J. McCarthy era begins, and John, that's going to be interesting for McCarthy. A lot of pressure on him to win a lot, and it'll be interesting to see if he can stay healthy as well, because he got hurt in his first game last year. So a lot of questions about the quarterback position for Minnesota.
Right. I don't know. I think that's gonna be big, I guess. What else you got for me?
Packers haven't won the division since 2021. They won 3 straight back then in Aaron Rodgers' era, but enjoy the fun. And then my Bears haven't won the division since 2018 with Mitch Trubisky, and before that since 2010 with Jay Cutler. So as much of a Bears fan as I am, and as proud as I am, and go Bears, down Bears, we own the North. Well, we got to start winning some divisions. We got to start winning some football games. Hopefully Ben Johnson can bring that. A new head coach hire. But let's get into the Detroit Lions here, John. They went into that, won the division, but lost their first playoff game against the Commanders. We talk about all the defensive injuries. It's going to be adjustment with the whole staff. It's not just losing the OC and the DC. They also lost, their pass game coordinator, their quarterback, the assistant quarterback coach, wide receiver coach, tight end coach, D-line. They have some, whole new coaching staff. They lost their starting center. They lost their starting right now, Kevin Hitler. So they're, John, the line built and the offense has done such a good job losing two big starters in the middle of the line and replacing them with rookies, not giving anybody in free agents so they can rookies coming in. Do you think that could be a weakness for them?
Well, I don't know if it'll be a weakness. It's according to how they. I think anytime you have a great team, if you have great leaders on the team, you can cover that up with rookies. Like rookies don't have to show, I guess, the great or have to be great. Like you're not looking for a rookie really to run a team. You're looking for a rookie just to fill a spot, and you want him to be great later on. So I think for me personally, I think it's more of like, are they going to be able to? And the funny thing is, it might be easier for the rookies than the vets because for the rookies, this will be the first time having these coaches. So this is their first, like you said, they got rid of so many people. So for the rookies, it might be their first time seeing these offensive coordinators, seeing this other guys. So for them, this is their first book, if that makes sense. So they don't really have anything to go by. They can't really say like, oh, and so used to do this. They can say in college stuff, but they can't say in the pro, like, this is my first experience as a pro. So this is what I'm used to. So this is what I'm used to. So for them, it might be a little bit simpler. You know what I mean? Because you don't have to change because everybody's learning. So everybody's at the learning curve at the same time right now. So the rookies are just following suit. They just got to learn how to be professionals. But besides that, they can just kind of jump in and say, all the defenses we're learning now, everything I'm learning, help. They learning too. So it kind of helps them out more, I think, than hurts.
Yeah, that's a good take. And they can look at a guy like Panay Sewell, as the perfect example of how to be a pro, how to go about, their new job. And he'll be a great mentor for those guys. They drafted a couple wide receivers, but for the most part, the offense looks exactly the same. Same starting receiver, tight ends, Jared Goff back. So the big question is, can the Lions offense continue to hit on all strides without Ben Johnson? They got the chemistry to be there, guys, and we'll see Jameson Williams can take the next step going into, I believe, year 3, if he can start becoming a star there in Detroit.
Yeah, and can Jared Goff stay being Jared Goff, man? Hopefully he can continue to be as amazing as he's been and also be a leader on and off the field. I think as long as they have Dan Campbell, they're okay, but also hopefully his antics won't cost him this year. The antics before were the reasons he won, but you're gonna have a better Green Bay team. You're hopefully gonna have a better Chicago team, and the Vikings are gonna try to upgrade with what they have with JJ McCarthy now. So I think it's basically, are y'all gonna like still try to be the bullies, or are y'all gonna follow suit and become the owners? Like being the bullies is cool, but like right now you're gonna have people that after a while you gotta hit the bully in the mouth. So are the other teams are gonna accept the challenge of we're gonna hit y'all in the mouth? We're gonna go for 4th and 1 too. We're gonna do all this extra stuff that you do because we're not scared of you. Or are they gonna play like kind of how they played last year? We know we're just gonna wait because we got a rookie quarterback. Oh, we got a rookie quarterback this year as Minnesota. We just want to win a couple of games and make them feel good. So I think that would depend on if Detroit is another 15-2 team, which I can't really see this year. But I can see them being a good team. But I don't know if they're going to be the bullies like they were last year.
Yeah, and as much as I like Dan Campbell, he's a hell of a coach. He's a great locker room guy. He knows how to lead. But he tends to be a little too aggressive at times in some big moments. If you remember last year against the Packers, for it on 4th down, instead of kicking a field goal that would have took the lead with less than a minute to go, and Jared Goff tripped and almost fumbled the handoff. And if you lose that game in that fashion, the entire NFL media would have come after, and the fans would have come after Dan Campbell. So he needs to be careful with something. He can be very risky. And so hopefully that doesn't backfire for him this year. But I like what the Lions are doing. They're going to be healthier defensively. I think it's going to be a dogfight in the NFL. I got the Lions at like 10 to 12 wins. I do think they take a little bit of a step back. And maybe that opens the door for a Green Bay or a Chicago or even a Minnesota to come up there and get even with them and maybe steal the division.
Right. I totally agree. I think everything you said makes sense. And also, if Jordan Love wants to be that guy, this will be a year for him to prove it. I mean, like I said, Detroit, is a great team. Well, they were a great team last year. We can't keep giving people credit for what they did the year prior. I like
Yep.
DJ Reed because I like DJ Reed as a person. I think he's going to be a good fit, but he's a small corner. He's not going to be the guy that's going to change that defense. So I'm like, is Jordan Love going to be able to, pick it up? Like you're actually kind of the vet in the division because you've been there the longest. If I'm correct on what I'm saying.
Yeah, Jared Goff. Yeah, and he's done such a great job the last couple of years, and a lot of that is tied to Ben Johnson. So we'll see now how he does without Ben Johnson. But he's got a long career in this league for a reason. Um, let's talk about Jordan Love and the Packers. They're coming off an 11-6 season. They finished third in the division. That this division's been so tough. Imagine 11-6 and finishing third. Uh, they're bringing back the same coaching staff. They brought in a Matthew Golden. To me, John, the big thing for Green Bay is they need Matthew Golden to be the guy. They need him to be the number one wide receiver. This is a team with a bunch of good receivers, but no true number one. And that's putting a lot on the rookie, but I think he's got the ability to be the true number one by the time the season's, we're in December.
I think that's a good decision. I mean, it makes sense, but also I think it's going to be with Jordan Love. He has to do more with all his players if he want to become because they paid him a lot of money. And in order for you to be a great, you can have one receiver have a great year. Okay, look at Cincinnati last year. You can have a receiver triple crown winner.
Yeah,
I mean, what did they bring you? So I think if they want to be a great team, he's going to have to spread it out. He's going to have to make the average receivers look amazing. That's what Peyton Manning used to do. That's what Tom Brady used to do. He brought out the average receiver and he made him great. I mean, so that's the kind of thing that I think that personally that he like Savion Williams is going to have to show that he's awesome. Like we need to see highlights on everybody. Like taking these 10 yards out, getting 30, 40 yards. And I think that's what's going to bring Jordan Love more ease at work and also get this Green Bay team over 11-6 season, get them past a Detroit Lions defense that is going to be ready for them because they kind of got them in their playbooks all the time. So if they're going to be good, it's going to have to be a team-wide thing. Not saying Jordan Love can't do it, but if we look at Jordan Love and we look at Jalen Hurts, you almost can say they're almost the same guy mentality-wise. They kind of laid back. They kind of do this. It seems like Hurts has a little more hunger, and Hurts brings it out of everyone else around him. So I think Love has to do the same thing. We don't say you have to come and just be like speaking to everybody, talking all this stuff, but you have to have more fierce competitiveness nature coming out of your quarterback so everyone else can bring their nature up. You don't see that when you watch him. When you watch him play, you're kind of like, okay, he's going through the motions. I've talked to players. I talked to a Hall of Famer player, and I asked him, I was like, bro, hey, so you just love the game, huh? He was like, nah, I was just good at it. And when I look at Jordan Love, that's what I see sometimes. Like, I don't see the passion, and I'm not trying to knock nobody, but that's just like what I personally see. I just don't see the passion that, like, I'm not in the locker room. I don't know what he talks about after this, but he's just so laid back. It's kind of like, I'm good at my job, so I'm doing my job. You know what I mean? Like, I could have did this or I could have did this, but I'm just a good quarterback, so I'm just going to stick with it. And we want to see more hunger out here. We want to see more, courageous plays and things like that, stuff that just shows that you're tough, you're individuals. And I think that will trickle down to your receivers, trickle down to your running backs, trickle down to your O-line. When you see a quarterback get hit a lot, I think you don't get respected by your O-line. If you look at, I think Phillip Rivers just retired, and he made a statement. He said, my guys, they took it personal if I got hit. They didn't want to see me get hit. They made sure I stayed up. So, that was my big reason for playing so hard and wanting to stay in the game. And if you can get that, and you can tell when the quarterback is really liked in the locker room because nobody, like, we ain't doing it. Nobody ain't touching him. So let's see if he can get that kind of caliber.
Yeah, I agree 100% with what you said there. And the one guy on this entire Packers team that I know has that dog in him is the running back, Josh Jacobs. And if I were them, and the way to help out Jordan Love is feed Josh Jacobs, get him going early in the game, and then that opens up everything else and makes Jordan Love feel more comfortable and all that. So I'm a big fan of Josh Jacobs. I would feed him a lot this year.
He's had some monster years in the NFL, going back to, with the Raiders and stuff.
That also gives your O line a lot more confidence if you get good run blocks. If you can get 1,000-yard rusher, offensive linemen, they tee off that. Like they love to have to say that I was on a team that had 1,000-yard rusher. They love to have a back that they know is going to fight for extra yards. Like most O linemen are very smart, very intelligent guys, but when it comes to playing on the O line and run blocking, they love it because it shows their physicality. It shows how hard it is. Because a lot of them don't like pass blocking. You can ask any of them. Like they rather put their face on somebody else's face and run them down the road. I'm big. I want to show people what I can do. So I think what you said is extremely, extremely important. Like really it is. You think about it. You can't really think of a great back since Amon Green. Really, like if I'm thinking about the Packers, like somebody that yeah. And so it's like some stuff like that. Yeah, why not? Like you got a guy that's hungry, like you said. Hey, let them take over. It's okay.
Yeah, and to me, that's on the head coach and play caller, Matt LaFleur. All these guys want to be pass happy. They love passing. That shows off their, creative scheming dudes open and all that. But let's get back to basics. Let's run the ball. Let's do what works best and do what wins football. So, yeah, me personally, I'd like to see the Packers run the ball more. Yeah, we'll see if they do that. I've got the Packers at 9-11 wins, battling for first place. And the big question is, can they catch Detroit? I think the Packers are a playoff team. And, it's going to come down to those big matchups, Green Bay, Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota, Green Bay, Detroit. The black and blue division, like we like to call it, we beat up on each other. And so whoever wins the most in that division will likely have the best shot at winning it.
Sounds good.
Let's go to the Vikings, who are coming off a 14-3 season. And, John, I still can't tell you how the Vikings won 14 games last year. Justin Jefferson is awesome. He's a monster. But I don't know how Sam Darnold had as much success as he did. And it really showed late in the season in Week 8 games. Started seeing those ghosts again. Started being indecisive, wanting to release the football, taking some bad sacks. J.J. McCarthy can all that stuff. Stay healthy. I guess number one.
Yeah, well, as much as I want to see J.J. McCarthy go out there, but it's going to be a rookie year for him, so I don't think it's going to be as good as people think it is. Like you said, they won 14 games with an older quarterback, and I don't want to take anything away from him, but I think that people have to realize that J.J. McCarthy's come out. It's going to be a rookie. I know he had a whole year to learn football and everything, and we know he's an athletic guy. We know he can make every pass, but when it get live and when them live bullets start coming, it's a whole different situation. So he might start off a little slower than people think. So to say they're getting 14 wins, I can't see it this year. 10 maybe or 9. I think 10 or 9 is maybe. I'm giving them maybe because I think once he starts taking a little hits, and you're gonna understand, we didn't see this last year, so we don't know what to expect. So now we just kind of like, well, if he did it, it's like we're giving him a lot of grace because of who Sam Darnold. What we've seen from Sam Darnold, what he did with the team, we're like, well, let's just insert him and he's going to automatically be better. That's not football. Just because sometimes chemistry with some guy can work a lot better than a chemistry with another guy. I was with a veteran guy, and we had Vinny Testaverde. Went to Vinny Testaverde to Chad Pennington, and it just changed. Like the chemistry changed so quick. But Chad actually had to sit a couple years before he took Vinny's spot. But the chemistry, like everybody thought the chemistry was going to be, it took a little time. He came in, but once he got it, it was good. So I don't want people to expect him to just be like, oh, they're Super Bowl bound now. It's not going to happen.
That's a great point. And the Vikings didn't bring in anyone that's this veteran with tons of experience or anything like that. They traded for Sam Howell. The Vikings better hope Sam Howell doesn't have to play, because if J.J. McCarthy struggles and Sam Howell's in there or injuries or whatever, this team might win 5 or 6 games this year. Like, they need quarterback play, and they don't really have an option outside of J.J. McCarthy having a good rookie year. The one thing I do like, they address the trenches. You see a lot of teams following the Eagles, They signed Ryan Kelly, Will Freeze, Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave. So they're beefy now. They beefed up the trenches. Hopefully that helps get Aaron Jones going, get the running game going, protect J.J. McCarthy, and get after the opponent, the opposing quarterback.
Yeah, definitely. They're gonna need the balance, but I think every team needs balance. We can talk about it all we want. I think Justin Jefferson is definitely going to be that guy. He's not going to fall off but so much, but he can't do it by himself. I mean, so like you said, you're going to have to balance this offense out, and to have that rookie come in. Hopefully, he can come with the mentality of I'm gonna let them just do their thing, and I'm gonna slowly progress, and by the end of the year, I'll be good. Like, don't come in here thinking it's Super Bowl bound. Like, this is going to be the year that you just kind of learn football, like really learn football. Because if I'm Detroit, if I'm Green Bay, I'm bringing the house every time. I'm trying to make this dude uncomfortable as possible. I'm trying to take Justin Jefferson out of every game for him, so he's gonna have to rely on his arm and really show he's a good quarterback. Can he read defense? Can he handle the blitz? Can he really move with the ball and throw the ball? That's all the things I'm gonna throw at you if I'm a young team, or even with every team in this division has the possibility of being better. Everybody's upgraded a little bit, whether it's the coordinators or whether it's players they've got, and you're just getting thrown into the mix right now. So be ready to feel the heat.
Yeah, I agree. And my prediction for the Vikings is 7 to 9 wins. I'm going to say best case scenario, you get 9 or 10 wins and make the playoffs. I think it's much more realistic to go 7-10 and continue to develop and build J.J. McCarthy and build around him. I just don't see this team, even if J.J. McCarthy is great, there's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be adversity as a rookie, quote-unquote rookie. I think 7 wins is realistic. So I think it might be a down year in Minnesota.
Like you said, Sam Darnold was kind of like, you don't see how he won 14 games. And you feel like Kevin O'Connell is the guy to develop this guy, JJ?
Well, he seems to be able to have success no matter who the quarterback is, whether it's Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold. He even was winning games with Josh Dobbs when Cousins was hurt. Kevin O'Connell seems to be a good quarterback developer. So I think J.J. McCarthy is in good hands. The only concern I have with Kevin O'Connell is sometimes his situational decision-making. Sometimes he's a little too pass-happy. And when you got a young quarterback, run the rock. You've got a couple good running backs. Take some pressure off him. Be balanced. You know what I mean?
Can his confidence end up kicking the ass, though? I mean, can the confidence, I took this guy, took this guy, took this guy. JJ, you have way more – personally, we think you have way more ability than all these guys, so I know we're going to do this. Can that be something that kind of, backfires on him because they think that he's going, I'm just good. I develop guys like this. Almost like when Tom Brady left, they was like, Bill Belichick's the best coach ever, ever. Tom Brady left, and it was like, damn, Bill, you kind of average, but so, I'm just saying, he had older quarterbacks. This is a younger quarterback. You were talking about 2 older quarterbacks that he developed. You're talking about a young guy.
Yeah, great point. And yeah, I agree. I think the Vikings are in for some adversity, so we'll see. Hopefully the biggest thing we want to see J.J. McCarthy stay healthy and be able to finish the season, and then we'll judge from there.
Correct.
All right, and now let's talk about my Chicago Bears. Coming off a 5-12 season, and it couldn't have gotten much worse last year. We fired the offensive coordinator early in the season because he was, not coaching, apparently. We fired the head coach after he refused to take a timeout at the end of the game against the Lions on Thanksgiving, which cost us that game. Just incompetent coaching across the board in Chicago. We got rid of that. Now we've got Ben Johnson from the Lions, and the Chicago Bears fans as a whole are all bought in. Ben Johnson, all the success he had in Detroit with Jared Goff. Can he do that in Chicago and get Caleb Williams to be playing at a superstar level, be a franchise quarterback, be the first Bears quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards? I believe he can, but there's also going to be some ups and downs. I mean, John, you know this. There's tons of coordinators around the league that get promoted to head coach,
and for whatever reason struggle as head coach, they're much better fit as a coordinator than a head coach. You know what I mean? So we'll see which one Ben Johnson is.
Well, I think for me personally, I've told you so many times, like I don't just believe in the USC quarterbacks. Hopefully, he can break the stigma of that. I think people put so much emphasis on where he's came from as college compared to saying, oh, he can do this, he can do that, he can do this. And USC always has great players, but I've yet to see a quarterback that has been the guy that have Super Bowl champion, doing all this and doing all that. So that's my big thing. I think Ben Johnson coming from Detroit, knowing Detroit will definitely help them when they play Detroit. But and being in the division, you kind of like know what every team can bring. But I definitely think going against Detroit it'll help them more than anything. But he's gonna have to show me a lot, man. It's like I'm not trying to. It's just me. It's really the quarterback, man. Whether he's going, because even on the offseason, and I understand being young, you still want to be flamboyant. You still want to do some certain things and show that your characteristics and everything. It's just a new generation. We want to see more of the offseason. I would rather see more of you, training with your receivers, even if it's for fluke. It'd give a better perception for everyone out here. But we see him just like taking pictures and all kind of other stuff. But we see him at games. But we want to see, as a young guy, we want to see you like, hey, they're in Cabo, but all of them out there, him and DJ Moore and 4 other offensive linemen, all the guys out here running drills together. That's what we want to see. We want to see, can you take it to that level of that kind of quarterback? Do you have that respect from your O-line? Do you have that respect from your receivers? And I think that's the thing that he's going to have to mature on. And I'm not saying he's not a mature guy in the aspect of being a grown man. I'm saying a mature guy is saying that you are responsible for everybody on the team. Like, that's your job. Your job as a quarterback is to be responsible for everyone. Even if somebody gets in trouble on defense, we still gonna look at the quarterback in some type of way because we feel like you should be able to talk to anybody on the team. Playing with Matt Ryan, I understand that. Playing with Chad Pennington, I understand that. Playing with Mike Vick, I understand that. You understand that being a quarterback is more than just being, a quarterback. You're totally the head guy of the team. You're not just the head guy of offense and defense. You're the head guy of the whole team. You're the face of the team. Regardless of what you do, that's what everybody else is going to feed off. Like Dennis Allen's got to respect you. DeClain Doyle got to respect you. All these guys have to be able to respect you as a quarterback. When you walk into an office, when you walk into an establishment as a Cowboy guy, not Cowboy, as a Chicago Bear, you want to walk in and you are Chicago Bears. Like, you're no longer Caleb Williams. You are Chicago Bears. You are Chicago now, and you know how your city is. Your city is so loving when it comes to good players like Urlacher, for instance. Guys that represent what Chicago is will live in Chicago forever. Like, you don't ever. You can go back to Refrigerator Perry, Sweetness. Like, when y'all have the guys like that, you have those guys. Those guys can literally come anytime they want to. They can walk around half naked down through Chicago with the wind and all that stuff, and nobody will bother them. So he has an opportunity to be this guy that I don't think everybody ready to get the Justin Fields taste out of their mouth. People still do appreciate what he did, but also they're kind of like, okay, we moved on. We got the guy that we really want. We don't feel like being upset again. Please don't do this to us. So I think he needs to buckle down and become a pro. Like I said, just because you're in the NFL doesn't mean you're a professional.
Yeah, 100%. And hopefully year 2, he starts to show more of that growth, more of that leadership. You go for a rookie. Now year 2, this is your team. Now this offseason's big. This training camp is big. But you're not a rookie, so it's time to step up if you're going to. To me, it puts a lot of pressure on Ben Johnson as well, because coaching, head coach and offensive coach, the number one goal is to develop that quarterback. That's why Ben Johnson was hired. So the two of them need to work together and make this happen. I mean, you brought up DeClain Doyle. I've never heard of this guy. He's 28 years old. He's never – what is he doing out there? Why, if you're Ben Johnson, why not bring somebody from Detroit, Antoine Randall, make him OC? Mark Brunell.
Ben wants to go through the OC. You got to understand that's what a lot of people do. You don't bring the best guy. You don't bring a guy that can be higher than your level or on your level. You bring somebody under you, so you're teaching him to teach the guy. It's almost like you're a trickle down. I can't do this, but okay, hey, come here, Doyle, come here. So this one, okay, tell him to do this, Doyle. Get your ass over there. Some OCs you can't get an old OC and be like, we doing this. Nah, this is my offense. You take your ass over there. You're the head coach, and I'll listen to you what you got to say. But get you a young guy, kind of little milk. Yeah, you go do this. Happy just to have a job. Ain't gonna really say shit. Whatever you tell me to just tell him, I'm gonna tell him. I'm going by it's your playbook still. So pretty much he what I'm doing. It's kind of like how Andy Reid used to do, but now Andy Reid kind of like, oh, you can go ahead. Now y'all go ahead. We got you. We got an OC now. I ain't worrying about it now. Andy Reid, like people like, even Belichick, find you a younger guy, Belichick is still running stuff, so that's a lot of what them coaches, the head coaches do, get a younger guy that you can kind of develop, keep him 4 or 5 years, then you can send him out, but you don't want to get no until you get older, you get older. You get like 60, you get somebody 60 with you, but now you're like, nah, let's get a young guy. A young guy that I can just run over for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, have him be like the punching bag. When Caleb Williams is upset, he's yelling at Declan Doyle, not Ben Johnson. I get that.
And think about it. They're the same age, so they probably kind of got the same, I can talk, I can talk to him. People don't understand how much emphasis like they put in certain things. Like, let's find a guy that can relate to him. Because, like, the other OC, they probably like, okay, eat for liberty, upper lip baloo. He was like, okay, I'm done with this guy. I can't even talk to him. He's weird. So, it's like a lot of that stuff. If you see like the best, like I said, I watched Matt Ryan, I watched Chad. Him and the OCs were like this. Like, they were like literally. You'll see these guys like sitting at the table eating together, talking. You'll see these guys like we go to the events, they're like sitting by each other. That's when you know you got a good team about to be popping off. When the OC and they're like you'll see them trade to another team. Like, I hope I go back with him. That's the kind of stuff that you see, and that's the kind of I guess that might be what they're trying to get for the next few years. Let's get a guy that's his age, get a guy that they can go golfing together, get a guy that can kind of show him how to be a pro, even though he's older than him and he's the job, but he can actually tell him, and he can kind of be on the same level because they're not that far apart when it comes to age. So they're talking to each other, they can say bro, or he know what all the slang stuff means. He understands the whole thing. Ben Johnson I ain't never heard that shit. So he can talk. You know what I mean? He probably can touch him in certain places that the other boy can't.
It's funny because in Chicago we're not used to it. We haven't had a good quarterback. We haven't had a good team, coaching staff. I mean, we're used to Jay Cutler and Mike Martz, where Jay Cutler's on open mic saying, tell him I said, fuck you.
We're not used to that. We'll see a quarterback being like this. So hopefully we finally got that. One thing I do love about this offseason, and I think it goes with Ben Johnson coming in, he told Ryan Poles, let's build the trenches. And the same way I'm talking about Minnesota and all these different teams copying the Eagles, the Bears traded for 2 starting guards, John
Tooney and Jonah Jackson. We signed the starting center, Drew Dahlman from your Falcons. Where's the defense here? We signed Grady Jarrett from your Falcons, and we take I love the Bears addressing trenches for sure. Get tougher right there.
I think they signed maturity on the defense so they can focus more on the offense. When you have a mature defense, they can talk trash to the younger quarterback, and they feel respected. Because if you got a younger defense, they might be scared to kind of push the quarterback. You get older guys in there, and even when I was in the league, I was actually surprised when Matt Ryan said I was one of the people John kind of helped me over the hump when I was rookie year. I showed me how to be a pro. Wow, I did. And it wasn't that. It's because we gave him the best look possible. You get a guy like Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett's going to give you the best look possible. When you go one-on-one, you can go off, and Grady can tell you why he did that. Why did I beat this guard so fast? So why you should throw the thing? Because Grady's seen so much football, he can tell you. I'll tell you, that snap count sounds stupid. I can tell a quarterback that if I'm older guy, I can tell you, when you're holding the hut, we know you're going to go we know you're going on 2. Or if you're doing your foot like this, we know you're doing this. When you got your left foot up further than your right foot, You know, that's stuff that veteran players can tell you because we play so long, and it's more than just hut. It's more than that. Like we look at the guard, we look at the tackle, we look at everybody, and it's good to have the older guys because they can come up to you and tell you that, you know. And I think you receive it a little better than you have somebody your same age.
Yeah, I've got tons of respect for Grady Jarrett. You know, for everything he's done in the league. To have him in Chicago, he would be great for the young guys. And then we drafted Shamar Stewart and Ozzie Trapillo on the off. You know, Shamar Stewart on the D line, Ozzie Trapillo on the O line. I like what the Bears are doing. Two questions I did have though is the Bears were sitting at 10. And they took tight end Colston Loveland. And to me, I had Tyler Warren rated higher, and I thought running back was a bigger need. We have Cole Kmet. I would have gone and got Marion Hampton there. But you're seeing the push for two tight ends. So maybe Colston is going to be like a really tight end, and him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're talking as a fan and not a coach. Shut up. No, I'm joking. Yeah, but like you know, you wanted Gentry, so don't even say that's who you really want. You didn't give a shit. You didn't give a shit about nobody else on it. You literally was just like, hey, maybe he'll fall to us. Maybe he'll fall to us. Maybe he'll fall to us. You didn't give. They could have drafted the next Hall of Fame guy ever, and you still gonna be like, we should have got him. So your little BS you're talking now, I'm not listening to. Like you think we could have gotten? I'm not listening to you. You're lying because that's not what you wanted at 10 at all.
Well, and I think it will work out. I think Colston Loveland is worthy of going that high. He's going to be a playmaker in the offense. But I am worried about the running back position. I'm not going to lie. DeAndre Swift, we're paying him Saquon Barkley money to be – he's a number 2 back. He's a receiving back. We need a number 1. And hopefully Roshan Johnson or the rookie we got in the second round, he reminds me of Isaiah Pacheco. We got him out of Rutgers. Hopefully he could be a guy because we need that number 1 back. If we keep handing it off to Swift, it's not going to be set, in my opinion.
Well, I think the NFC North, it would be nice to go back to the old school NFC North when you had the punishing backs. You know, every team was backed up, whether it was Barry Sanders, whether it was like Amon Green, like I said, like they always had a running game. You know, even in Philly, you know, you had it was just always just tough football then. But now it's more of like everybody's trying to be a passing league, and I think Philadelphia showed you that you still can be a running team. You know, you still can be a well-balanced running team if you get a great running back and you can open up stuff for a quarterback to play well. And I think that's what people need to get back into because, like you said, a copycat league, and they're doing the certain things alike. So next year, we might see more people trying to run the ball. It's not exciting because people worry about scoring points these days. But hell, put it on your defense. And with the upload of defensive lens and what they call edge now, I would have loved to just been an edge because, you know, it's totally different. Like, people don't have to worry about doing this, worry about doing that. You can just pretty much play football. With the uprising of this and the money they're paying these defensive ends now, you can have them pass rush all you want to, or you can have them put their hand in the ground trying to stop the run. I mean, if I got a guy I know can get 17 sacks, why am I going to give him more opportunities to rush my quarterback? Why not run the ball 30 times on this guy, tire him out? By the time the fourth quarter comes, I start airing it out. His legs are gone. His mind is gone. He's thinking run now. People don't utilize the play action like they used to, you know, because you're passing the ball 40, 50 times. Nobody not worrying about the pass that. You know, like, okay, every now and then we know they're going to run on 1st and 10 or 2nd and long. They might run, but they might do the, you know, but everybody's pretty much putting their ears back and they're getting off the ball.
Yeah, and you're seeing everything that's been prioritizing the running game. You got the Lions with David Montgomery and Shamir Gibbs. You got the Vikings with Aaron Jones and Jordan Nathan now. You got the Packers, Josh Jacobs. Yeah, everyone's prioritizing. You got one back. The Bears are over here like, I guess we're going to throw it every time, you know. So I would like a running back, but we are progressing in the right direction, so I can't complain and hate that much. I'm excited to what Johnson does. Also, we drafted wide receiver Luther Burden. We got a great 1-2-3 receiver with DJ Moore, Romo Dunze, and Luther Burden. I'm putting things out of them. we saw flashes of Caleb Williams' brilliance as a rookie. It wasn't consistent. It wasn't every week, but we saw flashes. And if Coach said out these weapons, tight ends, those receivers can open the game up for him. If Caleb Williams goes off this year, I'm all for it. Screw a running back. But I would like one eventually.
Yeah, well, until it comes consistent, you can't brag about that shit. I hate when you be like people will be so like. There's one guy that if he don't do it this year, I don't see how y'all can keep patting him on the back. Trevor Lawrence. If he doesn't take Jacksonville, like Mark Brunell took them further than I'm like, come on, there's certain things that and it's certain things that I hear so much good stuff about, and I'm looking like, okay, this has to be his year, man. I don't know if they trade him somewhere else. Maybe he need a new atmosphere or a new era. But if he don't do it this year, man, and Jacksonville is they're in a division that they literally should be 1 or 2 every year. And I mean, adding Travis Hunter, I know this has nothing to do with the NFC. No, I'm just saying, but if I don't want to be talking about Caleb Williams like this 3-4 years from now. After they give him another big deal because he has those. Oh, he almost like you said last year. He had those flashes, and he keep getting credit for those flashes, and compared to like taking us to the playoffs, passing playoffs. Losing like maybe in the second round of playoffs makes sense for me to get this big check now.
Exactly. Every quarterback has flashes. Mitch Trubisky has flashes. Anthony Richardson has flashes. Across the board, everyone has flashes. Justin Fields had flashes, but you have to be consistent. Exactly, and we'll see. I hope for the best, but I don't see this team. I think the ceiling is 9 wins. I think 9-8 is the absolute ceiling. I think more likely it's 7-8 wins, and he missed the playoffs, but. Check this stat out. This doesn't even sound right, John. If Caleb Williams throws for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, he'll be the best quarterback the Bears have ever had.
I know, right?
That's how bad it is.
I'm gonna go even weirder for you. I'm gonna say they're going to be 8-8-1. I just feel like I feel like it's going to be that. I just don't believe in Caleb just yet. I think he still has some growing to do, and I think this might be the year to show him. But I still miss saying 8-8, so I wouldn't have to ever be wrong. So if they go 9 or something, they go 7 or something, I'm still good at 8-8. So I see them being a 50-50 team right now. Even it's one more game, so I say 8-8.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Hey, 8-1, we'll take it. That's a big improvement from last year. So. Keep trending in the right direction. Keep building this thing. And, hey, as long as we sweep the Lions and the Packers, we could lose all the rest of them. I'll be happy.
Yeah, you say that right now. You say that right now. You be like, we got to do this now. I want it. It's time for us to go to the playoffs. No, but I will say that would be a good start, though, and that would get him. That will get everybody in the stand feeling a lot better about what they're doing. Like, y'all don't really care about the AFC. Like, hey, as long as we sweep the NFC, I'm pretty good. Like, I feel kind of good about myself. Yeah. I feel like we're a better team already.
Absolutely. This was a lot of fun. Great job as always. This is our NFC North preview. We can't wait. Training camps are starting. Preseason's right around the corner, so we're hype. We hope you guys are hype as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Great shit as always, John. And stay tuned for player episodes. We'll keep our previews coming. We'll get Amanda back on soon. And have a great week, guys. Peace out.